is a country endowed with lush evergreen forests that dot across its vastness. Government established the Department of Forestry as one way of ensuring there is conservation of forest reserves in the country. The major challenge faced by forest reserves is wanton cutting down of trees, charcoal making, encroachment, and the biggest culprit, forest fires. The Department of Forestry has on its forestry calendar what is called the fire season. What in the world is this fire season?
In brief, on the forestry calendar, we have tree planting season, we have other times when we manage the trees, but within that we also have a period which we call the fire season. The fire season starts from when the air is now becoming dry, the rains had stopped, and it is also hot, and normally for us it is from August up to when the rains have started. So normally it is from August to December every year. So this is what we call the fire season. In Malawi, we have a number of vegetations. For example, mostly the one which is dominant is Miombo woodlands. For Miombo woodlands during the dry season, fire is a normal part of the ecosystem. And this is because of a number of reasons. First of all, during the dry season, most people are going into the forest to collect forest products and other activities taking place in the forest. And also, as I have said, this time the grass is dry, so the forests are more prone to fires. So any fire that is lit, whether it is for cooking or for hunting, it can easily spread in the forest.
The central region of Malawi is blessed with the massive Dzalanyama Forest Reserve, which is the second largest forest reserve in Malawi. This is home for flora and fauna. Miles and miles of forest reserve harbor different kinds of wildlife, including birds. Dzalanyama Forest Reserve also functions as the main catchment area of Lilongwe River, which supplies water to the capital city through Kamuzu Dams 1 and 2.
Dzalanyama Forest Reserve is one of the very key and central forest reserves in the country. Actually, it is the second largest forest reserve in Malawi, covering almost 100,000 hectares. It stretches across 3 districts, Dedza, Mchinji, and Lilongwe. It was gazetted as a forest reserve in 1922. With that, you will realize that even during those days, the importance of Dzalanyama was actually recognized. Its importance is not only as a forest reserve for conservation of forests, it is a watershed. A watershed that where several rivers rise. We've got rivers such as the Diampwe, Lilongwe River, Likuni River, and the Katete River. Lilongwe River is the key river that supplies water to the residents of Lilongwe City. So you can, from that, you will notice that the importance of the reserve as a watershed is actually very central. As a forest reserve, it also offers a variety of animal and plant species. Some of the plant species are actually endemic to the area. We've got a series of butterflies, dragonflies, small game, and quite a wide range of plant species, which makes it a unique forest reserve. As a forest reserve, it is also being conserved for ecotourism. On that note, the reserve hosts quite a number of bird life, for instance, where some bird viewers travel from far and wide to Malawi to come and see the bird life that the forest reserve has.
Dzalanyama Forest Reserve borders with many communities. In these communities are traditional leaders who are working tirelessly to civic educate their subjects on the need to conserve the forest. Inko Sichilikumwendo is from Dedza, one of the districts where Dzalanyama Forest Reserve is found.
Kalango ya Dzalanyama nzonadi ili madera angapo amati kudera kuboma lino la Malawi. Chimene tikuchita ngati kumbali yathu ino ndi kuteteza kuti moro usalowe podziwitsa wanthu amene amakhala ndi mtima osaka kapena kuti uzimba. Nkhani ya uzimba ndi imodzi mwa chiopsezo cha zankhalango chifukwa choti akamayenda amatha kuyatsa tchire, koma malingana ndi mmene maonera dera lino tesa mwaona kuti tidalambulira mphepete monsemu kufuna kuteteza kuti moro usalowe. Chifukwa chakenso bolonso malo ano amene tafika wano takuonetsani muli timisewu timene muonati ntoti moro usathe kulumpha ndi kuononga mitengo imene ili yachilengedwe, chifukwa mitengo yachilengedwe ndi mitengo imene ili yofunika kwambiri.
Dzalanyama Forest Reserve also borders with the area of Tia Masumbankunda, who is another avid conservationist of the forest reserve. He narrates on how he works with the community to ensure the threat being posed to Dzalanyama is eradicated forthwith.
Udindo wanga ineyo ngati mfumu ku nkhalango ya Dzalanyama ndi kwayitanitsa magrupu, mafumu, anthu amba, mabungwe ena otero achalichi kwauza kuti titetezere nkhalangoyi kuti tisamaotchamo moto, komanso mwina pamene tadula tiziyesetsa kuti tibzalepo wina mtengo. Fana ngati mtengo ujo kadula nthawi zino makhala kuti pali mitengo ine makhala kuti yatheratu, pali mitengo ine kuti imaphuka, ndipo matikadula titani tidzalepo wina pasi ndiye kuti mafumuwa atetezenso anthu awo awauze kuteteza kwa nkhalangoyi kuti asamayika moto komanso asakumba maenje komanso ziweto samakhala zulo kumene kujezenga maononge mitengo ine imene ili ng'ono komanso kumbali ya makala iyi timayesetsa kuti tipemphenso mabungwe ngati monga mukuona ajaika amayesetsa kubweretsa majubu komanso makeni komanso timathandizo tosiyana kuti anthu ayambe mabizinesi. Ndiye udindo wanga umodzi upemphanso mabungwe kuti athandizire kumene kuja kuti anthu afuna maononga achepepo.
A rapid increase in population and economic growth in the capital city has led to devastating deforestation and forest degradation in Dzalanyama Forest Reserve, mainly through firewood collection and illegal charcoal production. To overcome this situation, the government of Malawi and the Japanese government entered into a technical cooperation agreement to implement the Project for Conservation and Sustainable Management of Dzalanyama Forest Reserve, COSMA DFR. During the fire season, COSMA DFR usually conducts a campaign to raise awareness of forest fire prevention in communities that surround the forest reserve. The campaigns are interactive to accord the communities an opportunity to participate in decision-making in as far as conservation of Dzalanyama Forest Reserve is concerned. The communities are thankful to JICA for all the support rendered to them in the conservation and sustainable management of Dzalanyama Forest Reserve. In spite of all these achievements, more needs to be done if Dzalanyama Forest Reserve is to be saved from extinction.
As the project for conservation and sustainable management for Dzalanyama project, supported by the Japanese government through JICA, and working in close collaboration with Malawi government through the Department of Forestry, we are making a special appeal to communities that surround Dzalanyama and various stakeholder partners that work with us in conserving the forest reserve to help spread the message of people to stop unnecessary fires that are destructive to the forest reserve. This appeal is being made in earnest because right now we're in the fire season and already we've observed huge forest fires It is worrisome that in September we have noticed so many fires. The worrisome part is come October, November, when it is very, very dry, we might see a lot more destruction.
In this regard, taking note of the negative impacts that fires have on the forest ecosystems and even our agricultural lands, I call upon all Malawians to manage fires properly. Where we are lighting fires for cooking near forest reserves or near forest plantations, let's make sure that these fires are managed properly and that afterwards they are extinguished so that they do not go into the forest.